I need to get some stuff off of my chest. This is the most intriguing story I have ever read. And all I want to know is, where was it when I was in college? I mean, I could have been getting my grades and having my fun too. Man. Now this next book takes me way back because I was just getting out of college when I found this author. She actually motivated me to get back out there and read some more, like a little bit extra. I felt like I was missing out on the coolest author ever. The Sisters of APF by ZANE, and if you don't know, I suggest you brush up on it. You know what, just take a day off, get comfortable, light some candles, because it's that good. The lives of these three girls were by far my favorite yet. These girls are thebomb.com and who are really gonna want you to keep reading for more. If you haven't read Zane's Sex Chronicles, Shattering the Myth, then let me enlighten you. Mary Ann is a conservative girl who is in her first year of college, and when you see her, she is the type of person who really doesn't say what's on her mind at first. The whole book, including the other characters, are centered around her. And you start to see this girl go from being this quiet character, keeping to her studies, to a girl who knows what she wants and knows how to speak her mind. And if she wants something, she makes it happen for her. Patricia is Mary Ann's first friend, and quite frankly, the first person she meets. And, I mean, a stroke of luck, right? And she has a warm personality and is already where Mary Ann wants to be, if that makes sense. Patricia kind of sees her as a diamond in the rough and really looks past Mary Ann's exterior and tutors her in the ways of college life and personal life. Because of Patricia's belief, you actually see this next character, and it is my favorite character, Olive, the inventor of PID, and clearly has it going on for herself. I think she is the main president of this chapter of the sorority and knows how to balance her life as a surgeon, a girlfriend, and all-around freak. As you start to see, I mean, at first she does not like Mary Ann at first, but as you see Mary Ann start to open up, Olive starts to see it too, and thus you enter the secret society of APF. So the book doesn't take you straight into the sorority, but rather introduces you to Mary Ann, who is leaving her huge family in the country for her first year in college. She makes choices when it comes to her relationship, her past relationship actually, and then afterwards she's like, I'm on a bus and I'm going to college. After a long ride, she finally gets there and she meets Patricia, who introduces herself and really shows her the ropes of college life. Patricia, though, starts to see some stuff in Mary Ann that is really beneath the surface, like subliminal, and ends up taking her to our first glimpse into the sorority, and it is not what you think. It's more of like one of those meetings that the sorority, has, but with this meeting, you meet Olive, and she does not like where Patricia's mind is going when it comes to Mary Ann. Through this story, you also meet a guy who wants to be all about Mary Ann, and she is looking at him sideways for the whole story. Shuster was interesting to me because he saw Mary Ann as somebody that he wanted for the long term, but then he had short term goals. He's on and off, stage for a bit, but Mary Ann starts to see Olive outside of her environment, but then realizes that's what she wants, and then Olive finally sees her and confronts her on it, and even goes as far as testing her on it, but finally Olive is on board, and this is where you start to see the secret society, the sorority of APF. If you don't know what that means, then I suggest you, go and read the book. It's freaking perfect. I mean, each girl goes by a name that was given to them other than their government name, and they just have the time of their life for one night a month. I mean, this is actually where you start to see Mary Ann really start to grow as a character because, and she has a few choices to make. Before she makes them though, she heads home and gets the shock of her life. I mean, it was a shock to me. That's all I can say. Ultimately, she starts thinking about what other people will think of her and thinks about what she wants for herself and her body. I know you read about the different characters and how they maintain being a secret society, sorority, but the main character, Miss Marianne, is who I really applaud for, because you saw this girl go from being so conservative to seeing her like blossom into a woman who has been sexually liberated. I mean, the entire book boiled down to like really one thing for me, and that is sexual freedom. I think that's what the sorority was really all about. Now, I know there is another book, there's a short book out that is kind of a sequel to this book that I am so ready to read. But before you get to that one, I suggest you cop this one first. So, thank you so much, Zane, for this book. This legendary book, The Sisters of APF.